I got an old bench grinder, and I'm not even sure if it works, but I'm going to clean it up, see what I can do to make sure it runs properly, and then I'm going to take off the grinding wheel and I'm going to make it a double buffing wheel setup. I'm about to turn on this wheel, or at least try and see if this bench grinder works, and I've noticed that this is a piece of wood, and I'm not exactly sure about this switch, so I'm going to plug it in, see what happens. Well, it works, but I'm going to see if I can switch out at least this wooden piece with something else, and then maybe this switch as well, but it runs. So before I even clean it, I'm going to see about getting this wheel off right here. To do that, I'm going to get some channel locks. I'm going to tighten it up just a bit. There we go. Then I'm going to use an adjustable wrench. About loosening this up. Alright. Well, the other side doesn't have a nut or these arbors or washers, spacers, whatever they're called. So I'm going to have to see about getting some. Next thing I'm going to do is remove these two shields here. Looks like there's 3 Phillips heads on both sides. Alright, and now I'm going to clean it up. Alright, so I've cleaned it up pretty good. Started with just a brush, get off all the larger debris. Use some Dawn spray and a cloth to wipe down and try and get some of the more finer stuff out. And then right here, this was covered in rust because I'm guessing it wasn't used. First I used a wire brush, got in the bristles, and then just rubbed everything down with the brush. Then I used some sandpaper on it to try and get some of the heavier stuff, and then did a scrub pad. Used a scrub pad to clean off some of the debris, and then I used the same cloth I used to wipe it down to just clean off anything that was left there, and it actually looks a lot nicer now. So I took off the plate and I'm looking at it to see how I did it. Black is usually negative, and then blue, I'm guessing, is the positive, but I'll check it before I finish wiring it to make sure that that's correct. Not 100% sure how they did this. This should make things a little bit easier. Not at all, actually. They definitely didn't do this right. So, looks like I'll have to go through and redo this, but I'm probably going to do it through the bottom so I have a better look at all these wires to see what's going on. Alright, now that I got the bottom off, this is what I'm looking at. Alright, well, I guess the only way to find out is to check it. So what I did was I put these push-on connectors on here, and after I got them crimped on the back, I got the heat shrink that matched their colors, blue and black. Put the heat shrink on there, and then I put an on-off switch. So instead of the dial that turns on and off, it's on, and I have it plugged in, on and off, and that's it. So now I got to find a way or find something for a plate and then mount this to the top of it. So I got a piece of plastic to replace the wood, and I broke it, but I used the wood as a template to drill out my holes, and then I screwed them in. I wanted to make sure that it was right before I continued. The next thing I do is drill out the center so I can put my switch through it. So I drilled a 7/16 hole, and then I pushed this through, got it all set up. So it's center. I did the best I could. I didn't even think I had a 7/16 drill bit, but thank goodness I did. So now that I did my dry run, I put it on backwards, but I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put it back on like this, and then I'm going to plug it in and then mount it. Alright, so I have it run. The black one, as far as I know, comes from the plug. So the blue one is plugged into the on or the top, and then the black one's on the bottom. I got it plugged in, so just make sure it works. Perfect. In my hunt for pieces that I was missing, so this is what I had. They only came in a set of 4, so I got all 4, and this is the nut that came off of this side. Well, this side is reversed, so I had to find a left-handed bolt in order to put this piece on. And the only thing I could find them in was they came in a set of 10. So I have 9 more of these that I don't need. So this is the finished product. I have the old arbor spacer here and here on the insides. There we go. Then I have the new ones on the outside, same with that one. And then got the bolt on, bolt, and it works. So what I had to do was, because there wasn't a whole lot of room, or rather I needed more room, I didn't have a whole stack of washers, but I did find this spacer. I had 2 of these. So what I did was I measured them and I cut them, and I put one here and one on the other side. I used a hacksaw, and then I had to file out the inside and then the outside to smooth them out so they wouldn't be as rough. This is the centerpiece, so you can see it's pretty bad. But after all that, it's the finished product.